precious metals. Your house, all August. Welcome to Treasure at Home with Young Tassie Scientist, Liam.
Hello again, treasure hunters. Welcome to episode 4 of the series Treasure at Home, the series where I send you out with your periodic table to look around the house to find precious metals. And this week, we've got a huge episode. I will be doing a big reveal on the place that you can find the biggest collection of rare precious metals in your house. Let's get into it.
The key to everything here is what's in this video. Have you found it? Can you see it yet? Well, turns out, if you've got someone in your house that does quite a lot of this, then they might be quite rich, or at least in terms of the elements on the periodic table.
So all you'll need to participate this week is some sort of smartphone or smart device, much like this one. This is an iPhone, but any smartphone or smart device will do for these purposes. Out of all of the periodic table, all the elements on it, there are 83 elements with stable isotopes. That means that they're non-radioactive, they don't decay, they don't go off. 83 elements that are stable. In every one of these devices, there is at least 70 of these 83 stable elements inside. To put that in context, that means if you look at all of the stable elements that are on the periodic table, you have over 84% of them in your pocket. That's a crazy amount, but there's one particular group of these that we're going to focus on today, and they are the rare earth metals. Let me show you what I mean.
So here we have the periodic table of elements, as all chemists and treasure hunters alike should have. You've probably seen this before, but let me show you what the rare earth elements actually are. There are 17 of them, and the 17 are comprised of 15 of them here in this big blue box called the lanthanides. And the lanthanide series, this whole blue bar, fits into the little blue square in the middle of the table there. And just above that blue square is another 2 elements, scandium and yttrium. They're lighter versions of the lanthanides, but long story short, they behave in very similar ways. So the 15 lanthanides, scandium and yttrium form the 17 rare earth elements. And you will find a lot of these in your smart devices, with the exception of promethium, PM. Oh, and there is a very good reason you won't find any promethium in your phones, and that's just because of how unstable it is. It's extremely rare, and there's always only less than 1 gram in the Earth's crust at one time, so there's no reason that you'll find these in phones. As for the rest of the rare earth elements, they're fair game. In fact, some of the things that they do inside of phones and other technologies is just plain awesome. So I thought I'd take you through some of my favourite facts today. First of all, the number one fact that I have is that rare earth metals are not actually rare. They're just difficult to obtain. Nevertheless, almost 97% of these elements come from a single mining community inside of China. You may have noticed that as time goes by, our phone screens have brighter colours. That's because of yttrium, europium, terbium, and lutetium. Have you ever had to light birthday candles or something with a cigarette lighter before? Well, it turns out the spark from that comes from lanthanum, cerium, and praseodymium. And that's all well and good, but cigarette lighters require some sort of petroleum fluid in order to burn. Wouldn't it be convenient if a rare earth element was responsible for the production of this fluid? Well, have I got good news for you. Cerium catalysts are used for cracking apart crude oil into more useful petrol products. Oils, plastics, fuels, so many things we rely on petroleum things for, and this process of obtaining these more useful petrol products is enhanced by cerium catalysts. Our next elements are known for their magnetic properties. Neodymium and dysprosium are very useful in data storage, and they're the reason that your phone is able to vibrate. If you ever need more convincing of how awesome rare earth metals are, here's another one, samarium. There's a whole field dedicated to studying samarium for stealth coatings, so being able to make something appear invisible. And even better than that, speaking of things that you can't see, you might have heard of night vision goggles. This requires lanthanum. This is what a lot of people in the military and other fields use to see in the dark. Either way, there is like a million different facts that I could read out and tell you of how awesome rare earth elements are. But the truth is, we need to respect what is in each device. We have to be careful with these elements as they are still ongoing topics of research and we just don't know everything about them just yet. But what we do know about rare earth elements is they're not actually that rare. We have enough, but there's a few things that we have to consider when we are dealing with them. They're not like other metals. They are actually quite difficult, expensive, and risky to obtain. Metals like gold appear in lumps, so it's easier to get the lumps out and purify them, whereas the lanthanides and rare earth elements are very patchy in the ground. Furthermore, they're also tricky to recycle, so we have to be very careful about when we're buying new devices, trying to recycle our devices. We haven't figured out how to perfectly recycle these waste yet, and this is an ongoing research area. However, for now, you have some rare elements off the periodic table right in your pocket. So, treasure hunters, that'll wrap us up for episode 4 of Treasure at Home. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the rare earth elements, the ones that are sitting right there in your pocket. You can watch our previous episodes with the links below, and you can check out other fantastic content by the one-of-a-kind Young Tassie Scientists right here on YouTube and other links below. Have an awesome National Science Week 2020.